Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at acupuncture and infertility,
Okay.
and specifically the work of Mike Berkeley.
Right.
You've given me some really interesting information about his approach.
Yeah.
I'm excited to dig in.
Yeah, me too. Berkeley's a fascinating figure.
Mm.
What strikes me is that he wasn't just like an early adopter of acupuncture for fertility.
Right.
He was the first in the entire U.S. to specialize in it.
Wow.
That's pretty groundbreaking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he founded the Berkeley Center for Reproductive Wellness in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And get this, they offer acupuncture, herbal medicine, telemedicine, even home visits.
Oh, wow.
Berkeley's clearly committed to making this approach accessible.
Yeah, I think it's a testament to the growing interest in integrative medicine.
Right.
What's fascinating here is how Berkeley bridges Eastern and Western approaches.
Yeah.
Like, for example, he might recommend specific dietary changes based on traditional Chinese medicine principles,
Okay.
while also, like, referring you to a reproductive endocrinologist. It's about weaving those two worlds together.
Okay, so let's rewind a bit and talk about Berkeley himself.
Okay.
He's licensed, board certified.
Okay.
The credentials are definitely there.
Yeah.
But you know what caught my eye?
What's that?
His personal story.
Oh, yeah.
He and his wife struggled with infertility,
Hmm.
and acupuncture played a pivotal role in their journey to parenthood.
Yes, the power of personal experience.
Yeah.
It often fuels the most impactful work.
Mm-hmm.
Berkeley had poor morphology and motility, and his wife had anti-sperm antibodies.
Wow.
They turned to acupuncture and herbal medicine
Okay.
and conceived within 3 months.
That's an incredible turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
So while his story is inspiring, let's shift gears and talk about what this means for you, the listener.
Okay.
How can these principles be applied to your own fertility journey?
Mm-hmm.
Let's start by unpacking the science behind acupuncture.
Okay.
How does it actually help with fertility?
So think of acupuncture as a way to optimize your body's natural fertility processes. It increases blood flow to the reproductive organs, creating a healthier environment for conception. It also regulates hormones, which is key for normalizing ovulation.
Right.
Acupuncture can stimulate the release of endorphins, which in turn affect the hypothalamus and pituitary gland,
Okay.
key players in hormone regulation.
So I'm seeing a theme here.
Yeah,
Working with the body, not against it.
exactly.
I was also reading that acupuncture can be helpful for conditions like PCOS and endometriosis.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what's particularly intriguing is that Berkeley has developed his own unique acupuncture protocols and proprietary herbal formulas.
Oh, wow.
He tailors them to each individual or couple,
Okay.
recognizing that there's no one-size-fits-all approach.
That makes a lot of sense, considering everyone's body is different.
Right. But it's not just about needles and herbs, is it?
Right.
Lifestyle plays a role too, right?
That raises an important question about the interplay of lifestyle and treatment.
Berkeley emphasizes that lifestyle changes can significantly boost the effectiveness of acupuncture.
Okay.
He sees them as partners in the process.
So what kind of lifestyle changes are we talking about?
Well, it's not necessarily about radical changes,
Right.
but rather about making conscious choices that support your fertility,
Mm-hmm.
maintaining a healthy weight, adopting a nutritious diet,
Right.
reducing stress through practices like yoga or meditation, and of course, avoiding alcohol and smoking.
Yeah.
These things matter.
It's like creating a fertile ground, so to speak,
Exactly.
where both body and mind are in harmony.
Yeah.
This brings us to another interesting aspect of Berkeley's approach,
Okay.
the recognition he's received from the medical community.
Mm-hmm.
What are other doctors saying about his work?
They've praised his breadth of knowledge and his ability to bridge Eastern and Western medicine.
Okay.
He even collaborates with reproductive endocrinologists,
Interesting.
tailoring his approach to complement their treatments. That level of integration speaks volumes about his credibility.
It's like he's found a sweet spot between ancient wisdom and modern science,
Yeah.
which is super intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
So the 3-month turnaround in Berkeley's own story is remarkable.
Right.
But is that typical?
Hmm.
What kind of time frame can someone realistically expect?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
While Berkeley's story is inspiring, it's essential to manage expectations.
Okay.
Everyone responds differently to treatment, and numerous factors influence fertility.
Mm-hmm.
3 months is a fantastic outcome,
Yeah.
but it's not a guarantee.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So we've laid the groundwork for understanding Berkeley's approach,
Right.
combining acupuncture, personalized treatments, and lifestyle changes.
Right.
But what does this look like in practice? How does that personalization actually play out?
Well, think of Berkeley as a fertility detective.
Go.
He takes the time to understand each person or couple's unique situation.
Mm,
He examines their medical history,
right.
considers lifestyle factors, and investigates any underlying conditions that might contribute to their fertility challenges.
Okay, so no cookie-cutter solutions here.
No.
It's about getting to the root of the issue.
Exactly.
And remember, those unique acupuncture protocols and proprietary herbal formulas we mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
they come into play here.
Right.
Berkeley isn't simply using a standardized approach.
Mm-hmm.
He's carefully crafting a plan that addresses the specific needs of each individual.
Yeah, he's very intentional about it.
That level of personalization must make people feel seen and heard,
Absolutely.
which is so important when dealing with something as sensitive as infertility.
Right.
But this brings up another question.
Okay.
What about those who might be skeptical about acupuncture's effectiveness? What evidence would you present to someone who needs more convincing?
That's a valid point.
Yeah?
Skepticism is natural, especially when dealing with alternative therapies.
Right.
While acupuncture has been practiced for centuries, scientific research on its effectiveness for fertility is still evolving.
So where do you think someone who's intrigued by this approach should start? What's the best first step?
I think the Berkeley Center website is a fantastic resource.
Okay.
They have a wealth of information about their services,
Hmm.
their philosophy,
Okay.
and even patient testimonials.
I love testimonials.
Me too.
You get to hear firsthand from real people who have been in your shoes.
Exactly.
It adds a human element to the story.
Yeah, they offer a glimpse into what it's like to work with Berkeley and his team
Mm-hmm.
and the kind of results people have experienced.
Right.
Reading those stories can be incredibly powerful, especially when you're feeling lost or uncertain.
That's a great point.
Yeah,
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
we have.
Berkeley's background, his unique approach, the science behind acupuncture, the importance of lifestyle changes.
All right.
I'm curious, though, hearing about Berkeley's focus on the emotional aspect
Yeah.
makes me wonder if we often overlook that critical piece in conventional fertility treatments.
That's a really insightful observation.
Yeah.
Conventional fertility treatments often focus primarily on the physical aspects, which is undoubtedly important.
Right.
But the emotional toll of infertility can be immense, and it's often overlooked.
Yeah.
Berkeley recognizes that
Okay.
and integrates emotional support into his approach.
That makes so much sense. It's not just about treating the body. It's about supporting the whole person.
Exactly.
His personal story probably adds another layer to that empathy.
I would agree.
He's been there. He gets it.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing your practitioner understands the emotional roller coaster of infertility can make a world of difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It builds trust and creates a sense of shared experience.
Right.
As I'm here with you, not just treating you.
Right.
And that's something that resonates deeply with people.
It sounds like he's found a way to blend the scientific and the human aspects of fertility treatment,
Yeah,
which is pretty remarkable.
it is.
We'll be back in just a moment to dive even deeper into Mike Berkeley's world and the power of acupuncture for fertility. But before we do, I want you to think about this.
All right.
What aspects of this integrated approach resonate with you the most?
Mm-hmm.
What would you be most curious to explore further if you were facing fertility challenges?
That's a great question for our listeners
Yeah.
to think about.
Yeah.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of acupuncture and infertility.
We've been having a really fascinating conversation about Mike Berkeley and his approach.
Yes.
I feel like we're starting to see the pieces of the puzzle come together.
Yeah, definitely.
We've explored the history and science behind acupuncture for fertility,
Right?
as well as Berkeley's unique take on it.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen how he combines Eastern and Western medicine,
Yeah,
creating personalized treatments for each individual or couple.
it's pretty remarkable.
And let's not forget the power of his personal story.
Oh, absolutely.
Hearing about his own journey to fatherhood adds a layer of depth and empathy to his work.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. But you know what's equally compelling?
What's that?
Is the range of services offered at the Berkeley Center.
Right.
They go beyond just acupuncture.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, right. I remember reading about that.
Mm-hmm.
They offer other therapies to support fertility, don't they?
Exactly. For example, they provide low-level light therapy,
Huh?
also known as LLLT.
Interesting.
This therapy has shown promising results in improving egg quality and embryo implantation.
Wow. That's fascinating. So they're really covering all the bases when it comes to fertility support.
Yeah.
It's like a one-stop shop for anyone on this journey.
It is. And they also offer targeted treatments like miscarriage prevention and acupuncture pre-embryo transfer.
Wow.
It's about providing comprehensive care throughout the entire fertility journey,
Right.
not just focusing on conception.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah,
It's not just about getting pregnant.
right.
It's about having a healthy and supported pregnancy as well.
Exactly.
Speaking of support, we've talked about the importance of lifestyle changes,
Yeah.
but I'm curious how Berkeley integrates those into his practice.
Well, remember how we talked about Berkeley being a fertility detective?
Yeah.
This is where that really comes into play.
Right.
He sits down with each individual or couple and delves into their lifestyle habits. He's looking for areas where small changes could make a big difference.
So it's not about forcing people into a rigid diet or exercise plan,
No, not at all.
but rather about finding ways to make their current lifestyle more fertility friendly.
Exactly. It's about empowering people to make sustainable changes
Okay.
that support their overall health and well-being.
Right.
Imagine your body's energy flow like a garden hose.
Okay.
Acupuncture helps remove the kinks and blockages, allowing everything to flow freely.
Yeah.
But lifestyle changes are like making sure the water source is clean and plentiful in the first place.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It really paints a clear picture.
It does.
We also talked about accessibility earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The Berkeley Center offers telemedicine and home visits,
Right.
which is fantastic for those who can't physically get to the center.
Yeah, absolutely.
But how does Berkeley ensure that personalized approach translates to these different settings?
That's a great question. It all comes down to communication.
Okay.
Even in a virtual setting, Berkeley takes the time to get to know each person or couple. He asks detailed questions about their medical history, lifestyle, and emotional well-being.
Right.
He's like a master weaver, taking all these threads of information
Okay.
and creating a tapestry that represents their unique fertility journey.
That's such a beautiful way to describe it. It really highlights the artistry and intentionality behind his approach.
It does, doesn't it?
But I'm wondering, how does he handle those initial consultations,
Yeah.
especially for someone who's maybe new to acupuncture or hesitant about alternative therapies?
Berkeley is incredibly skilled at creating a safe and welcoming space for everyone,
Okay.
regardless of their prior experience.
Mm-hmm.
He explains everything clearly and patiently, answering any questions they might have. He's also very transparent about the potential benefits and limitations of acupuncture,
Okay.
ensuring that people have realistic expectations.
That's so important.
It is.
It's about building trust and empowering people to make informed decisions about their fertility journey.
Precisely. And he emphasizes that open communication is key throughout the entire process.
Okay.
He encourages his patients to be active participants in their care, to ask questions, share their concerns, and be honest about their experiences.
It's a true partnership, a collaborative effort between the patient and practitioner.
Absolutely.
I have to say, the more we learn about Berkeley's approach, the more impressed I am.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable.
It's like he's created this incredible ecosystem of support
Yeah.
that addresses every aspect of fertility, the physical, the emotional, and even the logistical.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
He's not just treating a condition, he's walking alongside people on their journey to parenthood, offering guidance, support, and a deep understanding of both the science and the human experience of infertility.
That's beautifully said.
Thank you.
Now, as we head into the final part of our deep dive,
Okay.
I want you to consider this.
Right.
If you could distill Berkeley's philosophy down to its core,
Mm-hmm.
what would be the one key takeaway you'd want our listener to remember?
That's a tough one. There are so many valuable aspects to his approach.
Right.
But if I had to choose just one,
Okay.
it would be the belief in the body's innate ability to heal and conceive.
That's a powerful message.
Yeah.
It's about trusting in the wisdom of the body and working with its natural rhythm.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that the body has an inherent drive towards balance and well-being. Sometimes it just needs a little help along the way.
We'll be back in just a moment to explore this idea further and wrap up our deep dive into the world of Mike Berkeley and his groundbreaking work in acupuncture for fertility. Welcome back. We've been on quite a journey exploring the world of Mike Berkeley and his unique approach to treating infertility with acupuncture.
It's been fascinating to see how he blends ancient wisdom with modern science,
Right.
creating a truly holistic and personalized approach.
We've talked about the science behind acupuncture,
Yeah.
the importance of lifestyle changes, and the power of his personal story.
Right.
But before we wrap up,
Okay.
I want to circle back to that core belief you mentioned earlier. The belief in the body's innate ability to heal and conceive.
Right.
That really struck a chord with me.
It's a powerful concept, isn't it?
It is.
It shifts the focus from fighting against infertility to working with the body's inherent strengths.
So how does that translate into Berkeley's approach?
Okay.
How does he actually help people tap into that inner healing power?
Think of it as creating the optimal conditions for that inherent wisdom to flourish.
Okay.
Acupuncture, herbs, lifestyle changes,
Yeah.
they're all tools to remove obstacles and support the body's natural healing mechanisms.
It's like clearing a path for the body to do what it does best.
Exactly. And it's a much more empowering perspective.
Right.
Instead of feeling like your body is failing you, you start to see it as a partner in the process.
That resonates with me.
Yeah.
So much of the conversation around infertility can feel disempowering. It's refreshing to hear an approach that focuses on collaboration and trust in the body's wisdom.
And that aligns perfectly with Berkeley's emphasis on patient empowerment.
Okay.
He wants people to feel informed and in control of their fertility journey.
Which brings us back to that question we posed earlier.
Okay.
What aspects of this integrated approach resonating with you the most?
Right.
What would you be curious to explore further if you were facing fertility challenges?
It's a question worth pondering even if you're not currently on a fertility journey.
Right.
There's so much we can learn from Berkeley's holistic perspective on health and well-being.
Absolutely. The idea that we can work with our bodies,
Yeah.
support their natural processes, and create the conditions for optimal health is relevant to everyone.
And it's about trusting in the body's incredible ability to heal and create life. That's a message of hope and empowerment we all need to hear.
Well said.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
I encourage everyone listening to visit the Berkeley Center website, berkeleycenter.com. It's a fantastic resource for anyone interested in learning more about this approach.
Yeah, you'll find information about their services, their philosophy, and even inspiring stories from people who have worked with Berkeley and his team.
And remember, the journey to parenthood is unique for everyone.
It is.
Whether you choose acupuncture,
Yeah.
IVF, or another path.
Right.
The most important thing is to find what feels right for you and your body.
And to trust in the power of hope, perseverance, and the incredible resilience of the human spirit.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Mike Berkeley and acupuncture for fertility.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep believing in the possibilities.